If the first responders here didn't have NARCAN, if we didn't have NARCAN, there would be half a dozen dead people in this facility in a year.
And that would do no good for...
I mean, think about that statistic. Here, it's horrifying. Sorry.
Hampshire County is so diverse. You go from Ware to Belchertown, over to Amherst, over to Northampton, and then you're in these more almost hill towns that are very, very quiet, much more, even more agricultural than Belchertown. It's so varied.
What was going on for 20 years in the drug war? You know, what were we doing and how successful were we? Not very successful.
There really isn't a set model nationally or on large scale for how police officers to respond to helping people find treatment.
We're talking about, you know, incomprehensible demoralization. We're talking about the hopeless of the hopeless, you know, and none of us can help another person alone, but together as a community we can make a difference.
The overdose death rate has arisen, and we've seen that it really knows no bounds in terms of economic status, where a person lives in town, their family situations. It's really kind of crossed many borders, if you will.
In the past, it's always been, you can either, if there's an arrestable offense, you arrest, or you send somebody to the emergency room. But those aren't really long-lasting treatments, and they're not supporting somebody that needs support, whereas the DART program does encompass that.
The DART program was initiated by the City of Northampton Police Department, and it's been very effective in putting a human face on law enforcement.
I was in plain clothes, and I told the person, look, I'm just here as a regular person today. I'm not here as a cop, even though I am one, and I'm just here person to person, face to face, to ask you if you're okay and if you need any help. And they took some of the information and they said, hey, you know what, I'm gonna think about it and I'll call you back. And I did get a phone call back.
Sitting in front of your child who just woke up from near death, he's got the 1,000-mile stare with pinpoints as pupils. I mean, it was something I will never forget, what his face looked like at that moment.
I never expected that DART recovery coach would include bereavement. But it does make sense to me now why it needs to be done.
I've never hugged a police officer with all his stuff on, and both be in tears. So that was just very moving for us to see that they cared so much.
Sometimes it's the family that's actually requesting help, so we look to help both a person with a substance abuse disorder or their family that really doesn't know where to go.
It brings the opioid crisis front and center to us in a way that most other national crises don't affect you. I mean, it's right inside of our home.
No one would help me. No one would reach out to me. People looked down on me like I was less than them. And your DART officer connected with me, and I still have his cell phone number, and I still call him and check in.
So I'm going to talk personally about working with our recovery coach, Susan Daly. I don't think I could have done what I've done without her, because I think that we both learned together how to talk to people. And oftentimes, if somebody's not ready to maybe talk to me as a police officer, they can see, oh, he brought a recovery coach, maybe I can talk to that person. So we'll both leave business cards, and hopefully somebody can reach out to either one of us.
Things that we offer people through our DART program, anything from handouts to phone numbers, locations, different recovery coaches, maybe some facilities. Our recovery coach does have NARCAN, and we kind of give a little spiel on how to use it safely and make sure you're using, if you do use with somebody for safety. Stigma is really the biggest barrier toward treatment. And for people to reach out and with the DART program, those officers are trying to tear down that stigma.
People can think what they want about police officers. You know, I've got a long history of dealing with them. And what I'll tell you is that every single one of those guys is doing the best they can to make a change. Every single one of those guys is doing the best they can to help. you know? And the only question is, do they have an experience in how?
So my vision for this program is to be able to offer a model and the tools associated with that model to communities throughout our country. And to be able to have done some of the hard work and learn some of the lessons so that other communities can take this model and bring it back and adapt it in a way that works for them. So through time, and as we build this, and as we capitalize on our successes, and as we learn from our challenges, I really hope that what we will provide to our country and to our community is something that is effective, is innovative, and is part of the solution. It's not the only solution, but it's part of the solution.